Could Jaden Springer be on the trade block? We're going to go ahead and discuss that here on Celtics Today by Chad Sports, because Bleacher Report has an idea that, I'm going to be honest, I'm not completely against. And right now, Jaden Springer is not putting up the best numbers, if any, for the Boston Celtics, just kind of sitting there on the bench. And Boston can always use other resources to help them get back to the NBA championship. So let's go ahead and break it down. I am your host, Allie Barefoot. Let's go ahead and just paint the picture here for Springer's role on the Boston Celtics. He is in the final season of his rookie contract. We, of course, acquired him via the trade deadline last February, and he's the 8th highest paid player on the roster at $4 million. We already know the Boston Celtics have two of the highest paid players of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Now it goes down a long list, and obviously you got your Peyton Pritchards, your Sam Hausers, your Luke Cornett's, who really isn't even making any more than Jaden Springer here. So why are we paying $4 million for Jaden Springer right now, knowing he's not giving us anything in terms of momentum? He's averaging less than a point a game. He's got 1 rebound per game, not even half an assist, and 0% from the three-point line, because he's only taken 2 threes this entire season. But you got to give him, a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, because he is averaging 4 minutes per game, and he's only played 4 games so far this season. But when you look at the fewest minutes per game, Jordan Walsh does not make more than Jaden Springer. Baylor Shireman, J.D. Davison, and Drew Peterson do not make more than Jaden Springer. He is second to last in minutes per game. Jordan Walsh, who is carving out an extreme role for himself here on the Boston Celtics. And then if they are going to go to a shooting guard, it's going to be J.D. Davison. We've seen that in how Joe Mazzulla plays his rotations. So now Jaden Springer is costing $4 million to sit on the bench. And I know, $4 million sounds like a lot to me and you. But in the NBA, $4 million is not going to get you a top-tier starter or even a six-man coming off the bench in the NBA. But it can still get you a very good basketball player on maybe a team that's not competing as hard as the Boston Celtics are right now, or maybe it is. And that's what Bleacher Report wants to talk about here. But before we jump into who the Boston Celtics could possibly trade for Jaden Springer, do you just want Boston to make a trade? I know it's a really interesting question, because yes, you want to get better, but at the same time, you have such a great connection with all 14 guys on this roster right now that you don't really want to interfere with that, because Brad Stevens' whole point of bringing back this roster was to just recreate what happened last year. So if you guys want to have a trade, well, then go on ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Now that you guys have already decided, Bleacher Report wants to trade for Amir Coffey. This is a guy that's playing right now in the Western Conference, which we know is no secret that's better than the Eastern Conference. A player that I really had never thought about being in a trade discussion, because I thought he earned more than $4 million right now. But apparently, matching salaries, he looks like a pretty good fit with Jaden Springer here. But I don't want to spoil the ending for you guys, so I'm going to break down Bleacher Report's trade idea in just a moment. But I do want to tell you guys about an app that's going to allow you to create your own thoughts, your own opinions, and your own selections at your fingertips, and that's Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. If you guys are looking to test out your skills every single game day, then Prize Picks is the app to do so. I play it as well as 10 million other users play it, and you can sign up today. So my picks that I've already selected for Sunday's lineup, I'm going to have Drake May to have more than 27.5 rushing yards. Have you seen the numbers he's putting up on the ground? 2 weeks ago, he had 95 yards rushing. And then Matt Stafford, I'm going to have him having less than 244.5 passing yards. Didn't have the best showing on Monday night, so I don't think Matt Stafford's confidence is very high right now, but that's just my opinion, and that's the beauty of Prize Picks. It's just you versus you. So if you guys want to go ahead and get started and get the best action on sports in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas, and all you guys have to do is just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. If you guys want to go ahead and get started, super easy. Just download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. This will get you $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. So we're talking about trading Jaden Springer for Amir Coffey. And let me tell you, I don't think Brad Stevens is the type of GM to make a move like this in the middle of the season. I think he would make it by the trade deadline, not just some random Tuesday ahead of it. I think that Brad Stevens really thinks about the trades that he makes before he just goes out there and is like, you know what, we got the money to do so, why not just go pick them up? So like I said, I hadn't really thought of somebody on the Clippers trading the Boston Celtics, but here's why Bleacher Report thinks that he could be a pretty good target for the Celtics. Coffey has logged ample time for the Los Angeles Clippers and looked pretty good while doing it. He's not high volume on the offensive end, but enough of a three-point threat and close-out attacker to keep opponents honest. And he's handling some tough assignments for a Clippers defense currently setting the world on fire. You got to keep in mind, the Clippers are not some bum team. They're number 4 in a very tough Western Conference when I'm making this video. So Amir Coffey, the number one thing that I know Joe Mazzulla and Brad Stevens are going to love is that first thing you guys should know. He is the best three-point percentage shooter coming off an NBA bench right now with more than 10 games played. He spent 6 seasons with the Los Angeles Clippers, so he knows how to learn a system and run with it. He's the only team he has played for in the NBA. And right now, he is a $3.9 million player and a 2025-26 unrestricted free agent. And honestly, I think at the Clippers, if he keeps putting up these kind of numbers coming off the bench, I think the Clippers could be pretty interested in keeping him around because of what he's doing from the three-point line. 55%, not to mention 54% from the field, which is much better than Jaden Springer is putting up low 40 numbers right now. But I want to talk about the minutes per game and the games played. He has played in every single games for the Clippers, and he's averaging somewhat what a Peyton Pritchard is averaging right now for the Boston Celtics, coming off the bench and nearly averaging 10 points a game. So when you mix that three-point percentage with other great three-point shooters for the Boston Celtics, you could get a possible rotation look something like this. We know that Jason Tatum has been kind of the lone starter in one rotation towards the end of the first quarter. That's when Luke Cornett, Pritchard, Hauser, and then maybe Anemias Cato or Jordan Walsh will come in. Let's say you keep Horford in. You keep a starter in with Jason Tatum. You've got 3, 4, 5 elite three-point shooters in this rotation alone, to the point where most NBA teams only have maximum 3 great perimeter defenders, and they're normally not even on this court at the same time. You are not going to know who to guard and how to guard them if you've got Coffey, Hauser, and Pritchard draining it from downtown. I think that is a lot better than somebody like Jaden Springer, who really doesn't have a lot on the offensive front. He's mainly a defensive guy, which does go a long way in the Celtics, but if you can shoot threes, Joe Mazzulla loves you. So what would it cost in a trade? Honestly, not too much. You may even have to give up another pick if you want to try and get somebody like Coffey, if you don't want to do another player attached to this. But these salaries, you're looking at $3.9 million to $4 million. That matches up perfectly. And you just saw the level of production is light years different between Springer and Amir. So you'd give up a 2025 second-round pick. We have several second-round picks if you wanted to keep lingering that over the Los Angeles Clippers. Honestly, I really like this trade. But let me know what you guys think. Would you accept this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. It'll just depend on Los Angeles to kind of see, what they need and what their depth chart's going to look like and really how well they want to be contenders this season. But overall, I think you take that trade. Brad Stevens, obviously a better GM than I could ever be. He's probably one of the best GMs in the NBA right now. So if he does end up taking this trade, it was probably for a good reason. But I think he should read that Bleacher Report article. If you guys want to go on ahead and do one thing for me, just hit that sub button for me. Follow me on Twitter. And as always, hit that thumbs up button. It goes a really long way here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. If the Celtics do make any type of trade, we will talk about it right here. So go on ahead and hit that thumbs up button.